Hi everyone, Brad Porter here. Great week for Cobot. I signed commercial terms with our eighth customer. I think we'll get the counter signature back early this week. And two more amazing customers where we're almost done with the commercial terms. So exciting momentum and progress, a lot of conviction around our robot and our form factor. I think people have been studying humanoids a lot in the past year, and we're seeing a big explosion in humanoids. I saw an infographic with 50 different humanoids. I think 26, 23, maybe 23 humanoids participated in a half marathon in China. I think six of them finished the marathon. The winning robot sounds like only fell down once. Uh, Replaced batteries 3 times. I don't know. There were reports of like they were spraying water on some of them to cool them. I don't know. That doesn't. That sounds a little risky, but uh, fascinating times in the humanoid space. I think one of the highest profile has been Figure AI with their $38 billion fundraise. But then this week, the CEO announced he was uh, directing his legal team to pursue action against Fortune magazine for one of their reports. Um, I don't know. I don't think we usually, if you do that, it would be maybe after the fundraise is finalized. So we haven't heard whether that fundraise closed or not, but kind of kind of spicy times in the robotic space. Lots going on. But I think when people start to look at what's it really going to take to put humanoids into commercial environments, they start to realize a lot of things that I realized when I was at Amazon, that it's really, really hard. Elon mentioned this week that they were going to have trouble building as many uh, Optimus as they had planned because of restrictions in rare earth minerals, magnets, basically from China. I think that's a fascinating insight because it says that they're building their own motors, they're building their own actuators, which is, um, I mean, Tesla's obviously quite capable from a hardware standpoint, but that's a lot of work and complexity and cost to have to build your own, and then makes kind of a complicated supply chain requirement on particular magnets. And it sounds like maybe they're specialized magnets, which wouldn't be totally surprising just because of it's very hard to get the torque densities you need in these. So a lot of these humanoid companies end up having to make their own. Elon also said there are about 10,000 parts in an Optimus, or at least that's what it sounded like from what he said. That's a lot of parts. That's a very, very complicated machine and complicated to bring the cost down. So I think we have a long ways to go in humanoids, but I think what customers are excited about is that uh, mobile collaborative cobots like ours can do a lot of work. And so we're talking to some grocers now. We're talking to more in the kind of manufacturing, biotech. There's just a lot of interest in, hey, this could be a real building block. So it's exciting for Cobot. Really, really great news for us that there's so much interest, and I'm actually staffing up my sales team a bit to be able to handle all the requests coming in. Obviously, still a lot of work ourselves on engineering, but I think our robots do almost a half marathon every day, moving up to 1,500-pound carts. So they didn't allow wheeled robots in China, which is too bad. I think wheeled robots would have completed that course very quickly without any incident. Um, the I wanted to end a little bit with a leadership tip. I'm going to try to do this um, whenever I can. Whenever I think of one, basically. So this week, I remembered I was in a conversation where I remembered a statement my grandfather had said. We were talking about, it's natural for humans in our careers and our startups and our ambitions to compare, right? And to feel like, did we get the credit we deserved, or did we achieve the things that we wanted to from a recognition standpoint, right? Or maybe from a financial outcomes or other things standpoint. And my grandfather said something really interesting. My grandfather was a very successful businessman. I think if you, you know, if you're around buying camera equipment in the 70s and 80s, you probably bought camera equipment mail order from Porter's Camera Store, and that was my grandfather's business. And I asked him about kind of what success meant for him, and he said, my goal was to be successful enough not to begrudge anyone else their success. I thought this was a fascinating framing because it doesn't deny that we compare, right? But it does frame it in a way that brings it back to what do you need to feel like you've succeeded? And what do you need to feel like you've succeeded well enough not to worry about anyone else's success and not to compare? So I thought that was a fascinating bar, like to think about what do you need from an ambition standpoint, from a career standpoint, from a recognition standpoint, from a financial standpoint. What do you need to have achieved enough? Enough that, keep doing whatever you want to do, what you're passionate about, but enough that you're not comparing, enough that you're content with what everyone does. And for some people, that's very little, right? Live a healthy, happy life might be a big enough bar. And for other people, that bar might be higher, but think about what that bar is, and think about, not getting to like, how do I win the race, but how do I run a good enough race that I'm happy for the winners and my peers, and so those are my thoughts. It was a little bit longer today, but hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you later.